Hey there, this is Aaron, and in today's edition of From the Film Closet, we're going to be looking at 5 other recommendations. We're going to be looking at a box set that you may have overlooked from a pretty cheap company, a 1980s action film that I think gets a bit of a bad rap, a very wacky comedy that gets lost in the shuffle along the way, 2 great TV horror films, and also a pretty cool documentary. So today I thought I'd start with the horror, and it's something that's kind of true to my heart. It's something that I watched when I was a kid. I would watch the movie, I would watch the sequel movie, and I would actually go on to watch this series, albeit short-lasted. I have not been able to find the TV series edition of this around here, but at a pawn shop I was able to find the original DVD double feature of it, and that is Night Stalker and Night Strangler. Darren McGavin actually stars as Carl Kolchak, who's this is kind of a reporter, first in Las Vegas, and he comes across these vampire killings. It's extremely well done, very creepy for its day actually, and we got Carl Lindley in here. We have some great actors, and Claude Akins, Simon Oakland. And by the second film, he's pretty much been, well, things happen that makes him leave Las Vegas, and we see the Night Strangler. And although the Night Strangler doesn't get much talk when they're talking about the Night Stalker and the series and that, the Night Strangler tends to get lost along the way. But it's actually not a bad one. It's pretty cool, and it's a good indication where the series was going to be going with this. Unfortunately, this went more Monster of the Week, which I kind of liked as a kid. But I can see how that could run its course after a while. Though I think they should have given it more of a chance. Night Stalker and Night Strangler double feature was a great double feature, and I highly recommend it. Of course, this is by one of my favorite producers of all time, Dan Curtis. And Dan Curtis is the guy that did Dark Shadows. And he did a bunch of TV horror, Dracula with Jack Palance, and I think he did The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I think that might have had Jack Palance as well. But this here is a fantastic film. These are 2 fantastic films, and if you haven't picked them up, definitely pick them up. Worth checking out. Kolchak's really cool. Actually, originally I think he did one before this. I think it might have been called the Norliss tapes or something like that, and it had they planned to continue on from that, but they couldn't get that actor at the time, so they did the Kolchak one instead. Next up is a documentary that harkens back to my days of growing up, and that is SNL in the 80s, Lost and Found. If anybody remembers growing up with Saturday Night Live, you know that like the 70s were kind of like a thought of as a big, huge peak for Saturday Night Live for a while. You had a great cast. We had Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, John Belushi. Had all these guys. We had Dan Aykroyd, and kind of come in and do kind of like revolutionary stuff. Saturday Night Live did not start out as just a sketch comedy show, however. Saturday Night Live started out as it's kind of like a different type of show where we had Simon Garfunkel do like an entire episode of the show where they kind of like came back together for the first time. And by the time that the 70s had ended, John Belushi had passed away. Had he passed away by that point? Well, he was like they were gone from the show. The entire original cast of Saturday Night Live was gone, and the had to find a new cast. And the thing is that not only that, but during this time period, Lorne Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live, was also gone. So it's a very turbulent time in Saturday Night Live's history. A lot of great stuff happened during the 80s in Saturday Night Live, but a lot of bad stuff happened too. And this documentary here runs 165 minutes, but I'm guessing that's with extra features as well. But it's a really, really good documentary. This thing can usually be found for actually fairly cheap nowadays. I think I picked this up for $1.99 back when we had Zellers. I'm not sure how much of this would cost on store shelves now, but it's was put up by Maple Entertainment, which is a Canadian company, so hopefully it's over your way as well, guys. And I really, really like this documentary. I'm a big Saturday Night Live fan, and I think they're starting to come back to their own again now. Boy Dance Party is hilarious, just saying. Next up is a 1980s comedy that starred Val Kilmer, and Peter Cushing was in it as well. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, and my edition is in a pretty crappy condition right now, but well, at least the case is. The movie's in excellent condition. But I love this film. I grew up with it, and I thought it would become bigger than it did, and it was Top Secret. It was made by the guys that did the Airplane movie, and it's very, very cheesy. Like Val Kilmer's like this kind of Elvis Presley rock star-ish type of guys. Like there's like spies, and it's just really, really funny. Obviously I love the guys from Airplane, the early stuff. This here, Kentucky Fried Movie, Airplane, of course. But this one here really stood out for me. I really love this movie, and it's really cheesy. The jokes are just so over the top, and they're, you know, if you don't like one, 10 seconds later you're going to find one that you do like. And it's just a favorite of mine. So, Top Secret. If you haven't seen this movie, it's Val Kilmer. Peter Cushing is in this film, and Peter Cushing's demise is quite funny. But I love this film. Next up is an 80s comedy, 80s action that came out in, well, it came in '89, the same year that I graduated, and it actually has a porn connection to it, but not in the way that you think. It's Dead Bang. You know, Dead Bang is a Don Johnson film where basically he takes on, what was it, white supremacist, I think, in this one. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but I remember liking this one a lot. A white supremacist, and I think it's William Forsythe's probably the bad guy in this one here. It's directed by John Frankenheimer, of course, who did movies like Ronin and, well, he's a classic director. And I just really like this. And the porn connection, Ron Jeremy actually is, aside from playing Biker #2, and this one here is apparently has a special consultant credit on this film as well. So supposedly the explosions and stuff, he's an expert with stuff like that, and he helped out with that on this film as well. Fun film. Don Johnson was trying to break out as like become an action star after Miami Vice. Didn't totally work out for him, but I think this is worth the second watch. Just a cool action movie to sit back and just let your brain relax. Nothing too deep here, but it's just a fun film. It runs about 103 minutes, so it's not too long either. And I said I was going to do a box set, and I wanted to do something that was kind of different, something that you may have seen at the store a dozen times but never picked it up or just never thought about it, because it looks just like it's a compilation one, but there's more to it. And I was really excited to find this. I researched this one a lot back when I found it, and you've seen my my channel thingy from the beginning, then you've probably seen me review this one, or actually do an update thing where I was in it. And that is a Primetime Crime Collection. I always say Crime Time. Why do I say that? Primetime Crime, the Stephen J. Cannell collection. And it does have like episodes of like shows like Wise Guy, The Commish, Hunter, Cobra, Greatest American Hero, 10 Speed and Brown Shoes, Silk Stockings, 21 Jump Street, and Booker on there. And that's all good and well. But I didn't just want this for a compilation, because I have a lot of these shows already. So what I wanted it for was that Stephen J. Cannell did a lot of shows, and he did a lot of detective shows. And he did ones that didn't make it or went for a season or a few episodes. And what they did was they collected 4 of those shows completely, all the complete episodes. So Missing Persons, which ran 18 episodes, had a pretty cool show. The complete series is here. Broken Badges had a, oh god, Girl from Young, The Restless, Days of Life, and I think not Mel Ferrer, one of those guys anyway on it. Was just a very fun show. I remember Palace Guards and Marcy Walker. That one, all 9 episodes are here as well. Unsub is here, which has 8 episodes, and I'll be right back. Hey there, and I am back. Sorry about that, but my better half, her computer screen had gone upside down, and she wasn't sure how to fix it, so I had to do that. The third series is Palace Garden, which Marcy Walker was a famous soap opera star, actually not just in North America but across Europe as well, since her series, or soap opera Santa Barbara, was really, really huge at the time, and she was the star of it. She left it to go on Palace Guard, which unfortunately only lasted for 9 episodes. Unsub lasts for 8 episodes, and if you have ever seen Criminal Minds, welcome to Unsub, because that is Criminal Minds years before Criminal Minds was ever made. These are my 5 recommendations for today. I'm actually trying to make this kind of professionally, which maybe not so much. But anyway, Night Stalker, Night Strangler double feature. Great. It's out by Anchor Bay. Not sure if it's still in print or not, but I think you can get the Night Stalker movies anyway. I want these to come on Blu-ray with from Scream Factory. Come on, Scream Factory, let's do these. Or Arrow, even. Arrow, come on, Arrow. I'd love to see it from Arrow. The SNL in the 80s, Lost and Found, is a great documentary on Saturday Night Live, and if you like documentaries on TV shows, media, stuff like that, definitely check this one out. Top Secret. Yeah, if you like kind of like wacky screwball comedies, this is before they went with their crappy like scary movie-ish type stuff, which was really bad. This is actually a really good film. I really like this one. And maybe I'm being, I'm a little bit my eyes are being, what's the word I'm looking for? Rose-colored glasses, because I remember this one as a kid. But I give it a watch. It's worth a watch, definitely. It's only a 90-minute film, and it's really kind of wacky if you like that type of screwball comedy. Dead Bang with Don Johnson is another one that I thought was a fun action film. Anytime that William Forsythe is in a movie, I'm there for it, because he does incredible roles in films, and I'm a big fan of his. There's just some great stuff, and again, Ron Jeremy doing the special effects is kind of different. And if you're a fan of cop TV shows, if you like Stephen J. Cannell's work, if you want to find those TV series that seem lost, that you're never going to get any other way on DVD or Blu-ray, this is the way to get it. These things aren't coming to Blu-ray, guys. This is pretty much it. The shows didn't last very long. They didn't get a box set of their own, but here you get 4 complete series on here. That's pretty freaking amazing. See if you can see any of the pictures on back, because we kind of focus on the newer shows, on the shows, the cast and stuff like that. This is Broken Badges right here. Right here we have Palace Guard. Here is, I think this one is which one's unsub? That may be unsub. But definitely worth checking out. Those are my recommendations for today, and this has been Aaron. Basically from the film closet. In the film closet. What did I call this thing? I gotta get that down, don't I? But right now, there's one thing that I haven't had today, and that's tea. And it is time for tea.